Hey, hi, we are live. My name is Lee Matthew Jackson, and today let me tell you how to sell your design agency. Let's set the scene. Actually, before we do that, if you're here, give me a thumbs up, give me an emoji. If you're watching the replay, type in the word replay, just so I know who's watching live and who's coming back later on. That's really good information for me to have. Now, let's get into the content. How to sell your design agency. Let's set the scene. You are running your business. Maybe you've run it for a few years. You have some great clients and you feel like you might have something that can be sold. I want to share with you our own journey of how we got to a point where we wanted rid of our agency and we started to look into how we might be able to sell it. Spoiler alert, we had something that we could not sell. Happy spoiler alert, we built something that we could. And I want to share with you both versions of that business so that you can understand how that might look for you. Let's take a look, first of all, at the original business. The original business had no identity. We didn't have any sort of real compelling, unique selling proposition. We were not rocking any particular industry. We had no real identity other than being a full service agency who would do anything pretty much for anyone. As long as we could Google it, as long as we could figure it out, we would probably be able to do it. We would probably work out a way, or we would get someone involved who could. We'd built a business, in fact, that absolutely relied on us as the directors and as the staff, which meant we didn't really have something that could be sold. We simply owned our own jobs. There wasn't a business there that was of value, that was worth purchasing. We had no real target client, which meant, we had no real mission. We didn't know who we were serving, the problems that we were solving for those people. We weren't big in any particular industry. We were simply a full service agency who could work with anyone and everyone. This was not something that we could put a price tag on. Sure, we had clients. Sure, there was money turning over. Sure, there was value in that. Sure, there were staff that could be taken along with that. But in the grand scheme of things, we had no business to sell. We had maybe a few client relationships that we could sell, but there wasn't really a business. This wasn't an agency that we could just sell. We had no audience, but equally we had no clearly defined product or problem. We were a full service agency. We were building websites for anyone and everyone. We were building apps if we were asked to. We were inventing ways of creating things that didn't even exist if a client really wanted to, as long as they had a checkbook. We had no clear defined problem. We had no clearly defined product, and we had no clearly defined and repeatable solution. If you don't have this target audience and you don't have this repeatable solution that you're able to roll out for those people for the regular problems that they have, then there's not really a product there. There is nothing there that's real tangible. Again, all I was selling was client relationships that had a specific value and I just wanted to run. You see, without me, without the directors, there wasn't really a business. There was just a few clients who have a range of services. It's not a real high-value agency that I can sell. Once more, because of all of this, because we were serving anyone with anything, we had no repeatable processes or procedures. We had nothing in place that would allow me as a director and the other guys to eject and allow that business to continue to run. Without that repeatable process, there was nothing that could be handed over to a new team. There was nothing that our existing employees could just continue with a new boss, because that new boss would need to kind of learn everything that we did. It relied on us as the directors to keep bringing in the anything from the anyone to channel to our team to get it done. So essentially, we had a business that had no chance of being sold. We could perhaps sell a few client relationships that had value and then walk away. But as a business, as a going concern, as something that somebody else could walk into and take on and grow, we had nothing. We didn't have something that was in a specific sector. We didn't have something that had a particular problem that it solved, a particular solution, repeatable solutions for that problem. We had no real product. We had no identity. We had nothing other than those few client relationships that admittedly had at least some value. but we had no agency that could be sold. Now, everything changed when we went through our agency transformation process. We went through the agency reset, and you can find out more about that in episode number 200 of the Agency Trailblazer podcast. And that's where we talk about defining your identity, understanding your value, understanding your platform. That's your marketing, where you show up, your messaging, defining and creating processes and procedures, etc., improving essentially your output. That's the output stage. And then finally the future. That's whether you're scaling or whether you sell. Those are those 5 stages of transformation. And we realized we needed to sort out our identity. We needed to understand who we served, what problems we were solving for those people, what our strengths were. And that allowed us to understanding that information, that allowed us to create a product, that allowed us to create those repeatable processes and procedures. In fact, we defined a clear identity as an agency that served event organizers who needed to sell high-value sponsorship, get more exhibitors at their events, and get more bums on seats at their conferences. It was really, really specific. So we understood our identity. We knew we were really, really good at it, and we understood our client avatar. We'd gone from no identity and no client to a clear identity and a clear client avatar. We then understood, therefore, what their problems were and what product we had that could solve their problems. And I got a bit caught out because there's a spelling error there. A product, that should say. I got to fix that because that's going to annoy me. A product. A product that solves their problem. We recognized we could provide them with epic branding, which would make them look awesome, learning from all of the other events that we had branded in the past. And also we had a product which was a website platform that would allow them to sell their event online and to convert, most importantly, those potential visitors, those potential sponsors, those potential exhibitors. We had a solution, a product to solve that problem, and we were able, and still are able, to create repeatable results. We now have a clear identity. We have a client avatar. We have a product that solves a specific problem for that client avatar, and we are able to get repeatable results, all of which are defined by systems and processes, things that we've learned. Because we have the same repeatable product, the same repeatable process, we're able to get the same repeatable results because we have these systems and these processes in place. And you know what the beauty is? It means us as the directors of the business don't need to be there every single day. A new client can come in and our team can take over and they can build the website. They can do the branding and design. Whatever that's going to be, that can be taken over by the team. It doesn't rely on the directors being there. And eventually, as this business grows, we would have a product and a team and a business, an agency that is of value, that can be sold, that doesn't require the directors to be there. In fact, we no longer own our own job. We own a business of immense value, which is saleable, which is attractive to a buyer. I'll caveat that with, sorry, I'm not selling. We absolutely love what we do. We're here forever. I'll be here until I retire. But what we've created is something that is saleable. We've gone from a business that has no identity, no product, no repeatable solutions, no processes or procedures, and essentially no chance of selling. Maybe a few client relationships for sale, but not a business that doesn't rely on us, through to a business that has a clear identity, an avatar, a product that solves a problem. We get repeatable processes and we have defined systems and processes. That is something that is of value. That is an agency that we can put a price tag on, that we can sell, that we can as directors move along from and still allow the team that's there to continue with its new owners. This is not a pitch to sell our business. It's not for sale. But it's how you start to sell your business. You can't sell an agency that relies on you, that doesn't have that identity, that doesn't have those clients. You're not in a specific industry. All you have to sell, essentially, is relationships that may have some sort of value. If we'd have sold back then when we had those relationships, we'd have got a few £1,000s and then we'd have walked away and be done with it. We went through our agency reset, we went through those stages of transformation, and we've got to a point where we have something that is continuously scalable, which we will continue to do, but also if we had an exit plan to sell, also we can do that as well. So that's essentially it. That's how to sell your agency. I don't know actually how to sell your agency as in who you'd go to, but Yeah, this is pretty much where you need to get to from a job that you own with a few client relationships where you might get a little bit of money for, to something of extreme value that does not rely on you. Couple of comments. We've got, yes, love me some systems and some processes, from Tristan, who doesn't talk like that. No idea why I did that. And then Matt says, I can't believe you transitioned from running an agency into collecting pens. So today's pen is this pen. This is a pen which is using 150 to 200-year-old wood, and it is from the pew from the Bronte school. So Charlotte Bronte ran a school next to the Bronte parsonage in Haworth, and this is the wood taken from that pew with a nice fountain pen nib, of which you can see. So that's today's... I can't even get that to focus, can I? That's today's pen. Gorgeous wood pen. What writes really, really nice. I've got a little plunger as well in here for the ink, and a little inkwell over there with my nice writing desk, which also came from Haworth. Again, from old wood. It's new, but it's old wood. Thank you. Right. So that was it. Thank you very much. Mel says, yes, the pens are out. So remember, if you want to sell your agency, if you have no identity, no target clients, if you don't have a defined problem in a product, if you don't have repeatable solutions, if you've got no system processes, etc., then you probably have no chance of selling your agency. You only have those relationships that you can sell, which will be of less value unless you decide to have a clear identity, a clear avatar, a product that solves a problem. So look at Event Engine as a great example, repeatable results, and defined systems and processes. Then you have something that is of immense value, that is saleable to somebody who can take it over, and you can go off into the distance and go and live on a desert island. Thank you very much for watching. You're all freaking awesome. This is a majestic pen from Matt. Hey all, take care. Have a wonderful day. And don't forget, if you can't be good, I really and highly suggest and recommend that you be careful.